Hello YouTube, hello Twitch, just some more Hearthstone. There's almost been a week at this point of me recording this, and the meta has sort of settled down to a degree. I'd probably say on the ladder, the best new deck is Fire Elemental Mage. Just a forewarning to you as well, YouTube, I actually had a go at this on Twitch, but I've not uploaded that VOD. I went 2-5, but I lost the mirror many times. And basically this is close to what I think is the optimal list. And actually, kind of unusually, there are some decks out there that I think still need optimizing. For example, Quasar Rogue, which isn't performing particularly well right now. I can see a world where that gets an optimized list and becomes more powerful at the very least than it is right now, which I think is going at about a 40% win rate right now. The Fire Elemental Mage deck, I think about 27 of the cards are just completely set in stone. You can't really change them. And then there are maybe 3 cards you can play around with. I think most people run a list like this, but they don't run a copy of Rolling Stone. Instead, they run 2 copies of Unchained Gladiator, and they run a single copy, as I've got, of Molten Rune. Now, I will say, on my games when I went 2-5, which you're not going to see anymore, the one mistake I made was I cut Tar Slime from my list. In the hope to go a bit more aggressive, I actually put in the Trickster instead. And it just turned out that the problem with doing that and putting Triple Wick Trickster in the deck is if your opponent in the mirror plays a Flame Revenant, it's really hard to kill it. And you kind of need the Tar Slime just to put up a barrier to protect your Flame Revenant and some of your other minions out there. So I've actually got a lot more respect for this Tar Slime. I think it's actually a necessity because of the mirror. So I'm back. I'm making an attempt at this with a better list. I think other than that, all the other cards are basically set in stone. You have to basically run everything else. There's probably some small tweaks you could make here and there to especially improve your odds into the mirror, because this deck is by far and away, of all the new cards, this deck is seeing the most play. I will just say though, as a slight aside to all of this, that there is a Chinese, I think it's like a Chinese Masters Tour, I don't actually quite know what the level is, and they announced what decks they were all bringing forwards. No one, I think, brought Fire Elemental Mage forwards, and actually the only new deck that got brought forwards was, I think some people brought the Death Knight Starship deck, or something along those lines, as a control deck. So that's kind of interesting. Also, a bit of a damning indictment on the power level of this set that basically only old sets have made it forwards, but that's by the by. By the way, in case you're wondering what the power of this deck is, it's basically just the old Elemental Mage deck. You have the old Lamplight to finish, just play Elementals every single turn, smoke. However, it has an additional flavour to this deck that the other ones don't. They have Saren. You play Saren, you draw an Overflow Surger, you play your Surger, that gives you +7, probably, fire spell damage, and then you just clear your opponent's board with Solar Flares. Molten Rune is potentially, 20 damage from hand. It is disgusting, which is why it's people tried to make their deck have a Molten Rune in it. I think 2 is too many. I think 1 is just the right spot. And by the way, the card that is the absolute bee's knees of this deck is Blazing Accretion. 3 mana, 3/1, draw 3 cards. Turns out it's really strong. So, anyway, let's see how we do with this. To be fair, we might go negative with this deck. This deck is really hot right now. So hot, in fact, that yes. Also, I guess for news, Ceaseless Expanse has been banned in Wild for reasons. The reasons are very apparent if you follow the news in any way, shape, or form. Holy Wrath plus that card is pretty strong, and as much as people meme to oh, this 100 mana card, we need to nerf it to 115 mana, they just banned it instead, which probably is the sensible choice right now. Anyway, yeah, of the 7 games I think I played this for YouTube, you won't have seen this. I think 5 of the games were Elemental Mage, and I think I lost 4 of them or something, 3 or 4 of them. Then I lost to a control deck as well. Because the other deck that's actually getting increased in playability is not Rogue, it's Odin Warrior, because it's a hard counter to this deck.
Let us celebrate a new
Right, we do not want Overflow Surger. Now, funnily enough, it's not a Quasar Rogue, but the Chinese Masters I was mentioning has got a lot of Rogue decks going forwards, but most of them are Cycle Rogue decks. In fact, I think all of them are Cycle Rogue decks now that I think about it. I've actually not gone up against Quasar Rogue yet. Okay, I think we just go. Oh, do I just go? I'm actually going to do this. It feels a little bit weird. But they're probably going to have, like, quick pick and stuff. If they're trying to draw into Quasar, let me just put up a barrier so my opponent's at least taking some damage in the process. Blazing Accretion will hopefully give me the fuel that I need to go forwards. Okay. I'm fine with this. One of the nice things about this deck is it's almost like a hybrid approach that we play tempo and then we can just pivot into being a kill from hand deck. Alright, now I think it's time to vomit everything out. I don't think Rogue will like this. Okay, this is my tech card, my Rolling Stone. By the way, the reason I like Rolling Stone in this deck is for the mirror. It's actually really good at killing the Tar Slime. Okay. And now it's just brutality.
As a gracious host,
oh, it's Shafar Rogue. Okay. I see. They might actually recover a little bit here. Never mind. They hit the wrong thing.
You honor your ancestors.
Alright, you convinced, right, YouTube? This deck's great. It is performing pretty well, I think, on ladder, but I will say, no one brought it to the Chinese thing. They brought Big Spell Mage instead, which probably implies that Big Spell Mage has got a good, favourable matchup into it. Or people just weren't willing to play... Oh, were less willing to play the new stuff.
I'm not toying around here.
Let us celebrate a new beginning.
The other, by the way, the other really, like, big potential power play we can have is if you Aqua Archivist into Sauron to play Sauron on 4, you probably are going to do something disgusting to your opponent at some point. And actually, going back to this 2 and 5 again that YouTube is never going to say, I got pretty unlucky in a few games where, before I played Sauron, I drew both Overflow Surges, I think in 2 games. And that's like the real, like, winning card.
nice to meet you.
Alright, could do with some of my draw cards. I will say, I think dropping an Unchained Gladiator is a bit risky. Because you kind of want draw in this deck. And by kind of, you really want draw in this deck. So there's possibly better choices. You know what? He's a rogue. What's Rogue going to do about this other than Tarslick? If they hit Tarslick and Fan of Knives, I think they're going to beat me. Oh, it's Starship Rogue. They're going to lose, I think. I'd really rather not play Lamplighter next turn as well, but I might have to. That'll work. Painful that I had to spend the 2 mana discount on that. I guess I should have played Lamplighter instead. But I feel like cranking this up more and more is just the winner's choice.
This ship would fall apart without me.
It's okay. We're going to draw the card that I need fairly soon. There you go, a Shale Spider. into freeze a guy. Into smoke the face. Don't trigger its death rattle, we don't need to.
A frozen treat.
I'm not sure what can really punish me here. With 2 mana. Probably as good as you could hope for. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I have lethal.
You honor your ancestors.
I do this.
And that's Elemental Mage. I didn't even get a particularly good draw, but I smoked him in the face and killed him on turn 6. And this deck is part of the reason why no mid-range deck can be viable right now. It's so hard to play against this deck as mid-range. It's so aggressive. Okay, Druids have the ability to beat me. One of the weaknesses of this deck again is opponents that just get like an absolute shit ton of armor.
Celebrate a new beginning.
Actually, you know what? I think with Firefly, I'm willing to keep the Unchained Gladiator. Okay. I see the line, kind of. But yeah, there's a few Druid decks which can gain pretty significant amounts of armor, so... Gonna be a bit of a race. Okay, I'm actually gonna burn my coin here. I think I'm gonna play Flame Coin Aqua, so that next turn I can play the Gladiator. For draw 2. And then hopefully I draw a 1 cost to fill out my curve. Okay, so this is going to be some sort of owl-type deck.
Are you not entertained?
Damn. Okay. Do I want to spend my mana? It's kind of money, more efficiently and play the 1 cost? I don't think I'm in that desperate need. Okay, so this is the druid that can gain a shit ton of armor. It's the Arcanite druid. What are you at 4? That's pretty efficient to kill something. I'll burn a Lamplighter for that. Oaken Summons, by the way, seeing play in 2024. I didn't think that would happen. I'm pretty certain this can low roll as well, like getting the arcane piece was not the winner's choice there. Wow, okay, this is teched out to deal with my deck. That's fine. Honestly, at this point I kind of just expect it. Keep the pressure up. Armor is cheating. Ramp. Ah, swipe. That makes way more sense. I thought they were under mana cost for that. Alright, we'll play Saren. We are now an OTK deck. Reminder, this only hits things in the deck. So we're looking at drawing a Surger. Alright, just casually gauge a ton of armor again, Druid. It's fine. We'll kill you eventually. I'll set up a combo instead. Wow. I do not expect to draw 4 cards there. 3, 6. Okay, they had something to burn. Wow. Ball to the face. Okay. Is that lethal? This is +6 spell damage. I can't forge this on the same turn. So that'd be 9. 8. 25. I'm pretty certain that's lethal. No, it's not. I can't play Molten Rune. I can play Flame Geyser, though. 6. So that's 8. 16. 23. I'm 1 off lethal, I think. Which means I should forge. And set them up. I will need to kill these things, but at the same time, I'm still pressuring the board pretty extensively. The alternate line there was just a lamplighter. But I might need... No, I won't need a lamplighter.
And smell the flowers.
Alright. I need to kill my things. This seems fair. This seems very fair. Balanced. I might call it even. Alright, cool. I just turned into a combo deck and killed my opponent. Very good. It's so funny, by the way. I was like in the doldrums last time when I was playing this, and I was 2 and 5, and I said at the end of it all. I even said at the time I felt like I got a bit unlucky in that, you know. There were a few of the other games where my opponent just had a better draw in the mirror and I lost because of it. I've made like 2 changes to this deck. Actually, I don't even know if I made 2. I think I made 1 change. No, I did make 2. 2 changes to the deck. And it's drastically changed my fortunes, it seems. I've also not played the mirror.
Celeste!
Wow, a priest.
Hotness!
Now, I have been saying lull priest. I do believe some crazy SOB has brought priest to the Chinese tour as well. And I believe they brought it as an overheal. Oh, I forgot what the guy's called. The new Draenei priest that gives you health. Funnily enough, I've actually built a deck around that, but I've not had time to refine it yet.
Happy Hollow's End.
It's Hallow's End.
Oh, I don't have a turn 1 play. Is the actual correct play here just the coin? Coin play guy? I think it is, because I want to play Aqua Archivist Shale Spider. Alright, is Zarimi Priest? I think the matchup is real, this depends. I can see a world where we can just blow them out of the water, but equally I can see a world where we get really tied up by my opponent. Wow. I need to get Solar Flare fairly quickly, otherwise I think I'm going to lose. That will help, though. hate making trades, but we're both sort of aggro matchups, so I'm more willing to do it because of that. I also might play the Surger next turn. I don't know if that deck has got an answer to the Surger.
Starting the operation.
Okay, we're gonna have to do this the real hard way. I was hoping to draw into a Flame Geyser then, just to deal with the 2-1. But I can't set up a big combo turn with Siren because I've drawn both Surgers. I've also drawn both Lamplighters. I feel like that's actually one of the things where you lose this matchup. I say this matchup in particular, but when you lose with this deck, if you draw your Lamplighters really early, there's just 2 dead cards for the most part.
Knows solve any problem.
Light sings.
Really need a Solar Flare.
Everyone, stay.
Wow, my opponent's having like the God Draw as well. We're probably dead.
This pack is almost over.
Well, we're almost certainly dead. You can do 6 damage, but that's not that helpful. Alright, fill the board up and then pray. By the way, I'm 99% certain. I don't like this card, particularly the Crimson Clergy. I think it's a bit of a cheap card. If this card didn't exist, Priest wouldn't exist either. Priest with draw options right now is actually like a miserable experience. You just don't have them. Except for this card, which is an unbelievable draw engine. Okay, it's actually pretty positive that they're trading with me.
Starting the operation.
I knew that wasn't going to trade. Again, a Solar Flare or 2 would go really far right now.
This pack is almost over.
Wow. Okay, my opponent just did a minor misplay. That's fine. Flare. I'm gonna fish for it. Well, they're not the spells we were looking for. Funnily enough.
I require more mana.
Good point. I require more mana. We just have to trade. And then we'll have to be a control deck, I suppose, because they're going to get Zarimi. We're dead. There's like no world where I live this. Because just playing Zarimi getting 2 turns is going to kill me.
The time wave reveals Azeroth's potential.
Taunt. Or copy. Copy. That's pretty despairing.
Water. Sweet, beautiful water.
I don't have it, by the way. Just in case you're wondering. Theoretically keeps me alive. Never mind, I forgot about that. I forgot we could remove my taunt, whatever. Well done, Zurimi Priest.
Water. Sweet, beautiful water.
I'm actually intrigued by how that matchup goes normally. I bet you the Fire deck hasn't got a particularly good win rate into it. I don't think it's bad.
Celeste!
Okay, here we go. The mirror. Let's see if we can actually beat the opponent in the mirror. Something I could not do
Celebrate a new beginning.
last time I streamed this. I think I'll keep Glacial Shard as a 1-drop. Not a huge fan of this. We're going to be doing some top deck Hearthstone, I think. Okay, that actually makes everything completely fine. Well, I say completely fine. Assuming this draws me an elemental, we're fine. I'm going to attack with this because if they push the button to trade the 3-2, they're going to lose. Because it breaks the elemental chain. They do have a coin, though, actually. Maybe I should have thought about that. Yeah, I should have thought about that. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine, they're not taking the trade. Cool. This Solar Flare, by the way, is the most crucial card in the matchup. I think now that I have it, I'm willing to play pretty greedily. I think we're going to win this. I could be wrong, but it depends on what my opponent has. I just feel like we've got a lot of our draw cards. I've got my Solar Flare. Because one of the things that blows this deck sometimes out of the water is an early Overflow Surger. Because it's hard for this deck to fight for the board back again. It really needs to be on top all times. I think this will also change my routing. This thing has to go. You know what? I'll burn a Lamplighter to do this. This is a pretty good tempo play. I was going to just kill it with the Combustion, but I couldn't trade with the 3-1. This threatens a 4-3 on the board. Yeah, I like it.
Nice to meet you.
Nothing here bothers me right now. The Solar Flare will kill it. Do I test it?
Nice to meet you.
I will. If they don't have Solar Flare, I just win. If they do have it, it's the juiciest Solar Flare of all time. Okay. I'm pretty certain that's Despair. I will say now my Siren is not very good anymore. What am I pushing right now? 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. And that's why that card is brutal in the mirror. If you don't have 2 damage at all, you just lose. And funnily enough, I've seen some other people, by the way, taking Siren out of this deck. It might not be a necessity card to run into this deck. Because of things like that in the mirror as well. If you play Siren, you're actually in quite a lot of trouble because you're playing a 6-mana 7/6. That's pretty slow.
Celeste versus Thrall.
I bring the fury of the elements.
Let us
Okay.
celebrate a new
Flame
beginning.
Revenant is probably a card that we would like to keep. Do I want Flame Geyser, though? Shaman. I'll keep it. I feel like most Shaman decks are pretty aggressive. There is a new aggressive Shaman deck out there, which is like almost like a Zoo Shaman deck. I don't even know what they're calling it right now. Nature Shaman is also performing pretty well right now, as is Nostalgia Shaman, or what it's called. Wow, I don't have an Elemental to play on turn 1. Also pretty brutal when that happens. I think we don't play anything. 2 to the face feels pointless. I could Flame Geyser coin play the Elemental. That might be the right play. But I'll just take it a little bit slower. I think this card is why Tarslime is like a must run in this deck as well. If you play Flame Revenant into Tarslime, the Tarslime is so brutal to deal with. It's control, right? If you're playing Needle Rock Totem. I'm just gonna deal with this shit. Assuming it's control, then I don't really want them to draw cards. In fact, we're in a race.
None can comprehend
Okay, it's asteroids.
the depths of my power.
Okay. Sure. Right, can they deal with the 2/3? Not immediately. Siren, please.
Planet is nothing but fuel.
Thank you. Ye ask and ye shall receive.
Nice to meet you.
Everything goes face right now. If we take too long, we're going to lose. Face is place. I'm pretty certain as well we want to play the Surger next turn. So 3. If I play a guy, it just fills the board anyway, unless I'm trading to kill something. Which I don't really want to do.
Pressure builds. Let the rising chill.
No lightning storm, please. Also, no asteroid storm, where it's called. Oh my god. Sniped. It's asteroid storm, isn't it? Oh, aftershocks. Okay, also a pretty good answer. Right, do not draw Overflow Surge. If I do, I think we lose the game. Or, not quite lose, but we're close to losing the game. I need to turn into a combo deck. Cool.
I am the flaming heart of the universe.
We have a chance. And I say, like, you know, we're unfavored. I don't think we're not favored here. Wow, excavate package as well. The greed. Wait. Oh no, I think you do. Whatever. I was just thinking, do you want the excavate package really in the asteroid deck? But the evolution is just on minions, right? It just evolves all minions. That will need to be having that done to it.
Are you not entertained?
We're basically just an overflow surge waiting room plus lamplighters.
Everything is a melting.
Pretty spooky. I might have to kill that.
None can comprehend the expanse of my power.
Is that lethal? 6 boys, so it's plus 6, that's 9, 18. It isn't, but can they heal is the question, I suppose.
How perplexing.
I think we have to go for it. Well, do I have to go for it?
Pressure builds. Magma rises.
Holy shit, that's funny. I just fucking... I Alt F4 instantaneously. I got prep as a random spell, which gave me lethal. Oh my god. That would be throwing the computer out of the window, I think, if that happened to me. I mean, regardless, I don't feel like the Shaman could have healed. I didn't think I was going to die on the next turn. There was a possibility considering the eruptions, but I didn't really care about the eruption scaling anymore. Lamplighter was probably lethal next turn.
Celeste versus.
Alright, we'll give this one more. Hunter.
Let the hunt begin.
Let us celebrate a new beginning.
By the way, Rolling Stone has done absolutely nothing so far this game. My little tech card to deal with tar slimes in the mirror. Seems okay.
These could belong to a brand new
Wow.
species.
Just instant Rangari Scout.
Nice to meet you.
Old. Especially into this matchup. Like, if I'd kept a Flame Geyser, would they have just lost? I assume they've got the 1 mana guy to pull back a Draenei. So they were, like, willing just to send it.
Find it.
Holy shit, they discovered Rangari Scout with it. What a genius. That's really maddening. We'll coin Accretion then.
That is nothing but fuel.
The 3/3 can trade into the 2/1, which lets me button it next turn, or it doesn't trade and I'll trade the
These
3/1
could
instead.
belong to a brand new species.
the value. Where is my... Where's my Rolling Stone to deal with the 3-3 Rangari Scouts? I've also drawn both Overflow Surges, so I can't do the big Super Wombo combo play. Oh well. Alright, this is honestly an incredible draw from my opponent, but if they don't do anything too disgusting to the board, Tainted Remnant should be pretty good when we get it on 5. So will Surger. Actually, this could be pretty big. Give me a Freezing Trap, please. Nah, it's gonna be too slow. That does change my line, though. I'm pretty certain the correct place to not attack right now. My guess is it's going to be like Bait and Switch. It's not Hidden Meaning, which is one of the other ones I thought it might be. Bait and Switch Explosive, Bait and Switch Ice.
Belong to a brand new species.
Forge? Well, we don't know what it is. Oh, another trap's cool.
Hidden finding. Hidden finding.
Okay. Huge. So it's Ice Trap, Rat Trap, Hidden Meaning, Bait and Switch. We actually know what they all are. So I should just leave the one up.
My collection is
Oh wait, Hidden Meaning. Yeah, okay. That's pretty annoying.
Who could put a price on such?
At least not gonna get a Griff to discover.
I could.
One capture.
Okay. My opponent is living the dream right now. I mean, that's pretty fucking annoying as well with Discover deck. God damn it. My opponent is getting all of the good luck. I guess Machine Gun the Face again. And then just kill him with a Lamplight the next turn. That seems reasonable. Hunter can't deal with this. Unless they can kill me. Unless they can kill me. Okay, they can't. They're too busy value trading to ever consider if, you know, I can just lamplight them in the face. Alright. And that's why the Hunter deck is not performing particularly well right now. I say it's not performing well. I think Hunter's performing better if you get it as like an armor control deck instead. Just to survive through all this nonsense. They got an unbelievable opening draw with the Rangari Scout into Birdwatching a Scout to give it more stats on the board, effectively turning it into a 1-mana 3/3, and they still lost the game. Crazy. Anyway, that'll do it for the Fire Elemental Mage. We went 6-1. Much better showing for me this time than the last time. And you know what? Also perfect? Never mind. I was going to say my game crashed, but it hasn't. It's come back to life. Anyway, if you enjoyed the Fire Elemental Mage deck, I'll put the... In case you don't know this, I always put the decks in the description as well, so you can copy and play for yourself. This is pretty close to the optimized list. Maybe the Rolling Stone isn't actually worth it, but... If it knocks out a Tar Slime, I think every now and again in the mirror, it's not terrible, but perhaps you do want draw more cards, because drawing more cards means more smoke. More potential smoke to face. Alright, bye-bye.